Everybody, welcome back to the Purple Friday Show, episode 250. And we are here at the bye week. Ravens are 1-5. Um, Definitely not the start we had, I think, in the season. I think most of us picked the Ravens would be at least, 3-2. I think we said 3-2 or 4-3, 4-2, something like that. We didn't expect
hmm
no losses, but I think we expected to at least have a winning record. But at 1-5, um, it's just it's sad right now. But before we get into with the Rams game and stuff and our opinions right now, I wanted to pull a clip back from episode. This was 243 that we did right before. It was like the week before the season started. So I think it was the end of the last preseason game and right before week one. And Travis and I just this is kind of our thoughts of the season as it was going to go. I did notice a lot of the beat writers for the Ravens did notice that the defense is definitely going to be setting the tone for this team this year. What we've seen in the past years, it's been the offense, it's been Derrick Henry the addition last year, and Lamar, and the emergence of Rashad Bateman, especially later in the season, and of course Zay and Mark Andrews, and they've kind of been leading the charge. But it appears, at least vibe wise, it just how the guys are in the locker room and stuff, it feels like this defense is going to kind of lead things, this
Yeah.
season, which is fine. Which I think is, we constantly we look at the Eagles and how they won the Super Bowl, and there's been all this talk, especially the last couple of weeks. They've been rehashing the Super Bowl and how important is Jalen Hurts to this team, to the Eagles, and while he's what I think the big part about him is he is a big part of the team, but he's not like the team. It's not everything has
Yeah.
to revolve around him. He is a cog in how the team operates. We saw how the defense played last year. You got big contributions for their rookies, and what the Ravens are looking forward this year with Mike Green, especially on
Yeah.
defense, and Malachi Starks on defense. You saw what Cooper DeJean did in the Super Bowl for the Eagles. But with Jalen Hurts being a cog, a very important cog in the machine, but not having to be the all end all be all. And what we've seen, I think, in the playoffs the past 5 years is that it's all on Lamar in the playoffs. And it feels like everybody just kind of takes a step back, even on defense, and it just feels
Yeah.
like it's all on him. So if what they're saying is true, and the defense is kind of like stepping into this mode where we're going to kind of set the tone, we're going to, we're not going to hold back. We're going to be we're not gonna Lamar's gonna be Lamar, but we're not gonna necessarily be in the shadows. And we're gonna make plays. We're gonna make things happen with this team this year.
Look, that's what we need. Like we don't need the 2012 Ravens. We don't need even the 2000 Ravens. We need a ferocious defense that's making plays, and that's what's been missing. I've been seeing a lot of hype around the defense. I've seen Mike Green look like an absolute stud. Shout out to Coach Sack out there getting them right. Always looking pretty solid. Ajabo looked solid early, and then I don't know what's been happening lately. And then Van Noy's going to be Van Noy. So I feel like the pass rush is looking good. I like the intensity. When we went to training camp, there's a lot of intensity from the secondary with Jair out there, with Marlon out there, Wiggins. Was it Owazi? Um, I just feel like there's just a lot of energy, and we're starting to see some dogs start to come to the forefront, which this team hasn't had. I think Miles, you've been critical vocally of this team not having those dogs that set the tone, that are ferocious, getting after it. I mean, we've had maybe like Marcus Peters be one of those guys, but outside of that, we just haven't seen that from this defense. And I think this is a year where I feel confident saying we got some dogs on that side, some playmakers on that side. So now it's just time for us to like get out there and put it all together. And for us to get where we want to go, it has to be the defense that leads us. Like the quarterback can do a bunch, but what we see time and time again, even when quarterbacks have great seasons in the Super Bowl, the quarterback plays good, but the defense makes plays. And that's usually the difference.
All right. So
We all felt that way.
Some of those Chiefs look disgusting now.
It did not age well at all.
Owe looks good.
I mean,
on another team.
It's like
that is
it's we all drank the Kool-Aid, right? I mean, we all did. I mean, we went to training camp. We saw how they were vibing out there on defense. The energy was there. We saw the videos of them at camp, and they were having fun. They were gelling well. Like it just, it felt like, all right, this year the defense they're gonna turn it around. They're not gonna start off slow. They're gonna go out there guns blazing, and if since week one, it's just been downhill. I won't forget the comment I think Zach Orr made after the Rams this Rams game they just lost, and said, "I'm proud of the guys because they played tough out there." I'm like, what is it? That's supposed to be inherent. Like, this is Ravens defense. Like, that's supposed to be in, like, that's standard. That comes like base 1.0. Like, this is tough. They glad they played. So what were they doing the last 6 weeks? What were they doing? Last 5? So with how guys have played, I mean, you don't really need to talk about the Rams game, right? I mean, the Rams played a bad game. There was a game that the Ravens definitely had a chance to win. They definitely had opportunities to win. I think looking at, I'll just pinpoint the series that I think this encapsulated it all for me was that goal line, tush push, whatever they were doing with Mark Andrews. It didn't work. And then Harbaugh comes out and says, well, if you didn't get it the first time, you should have gotten the second time. If you didn't get the second time, you should have gotten the third time. When are they going to learn this offensive line, as it's constructed, cannot push for 1 yard? They just can't. Period. They just can't. We've seen this time and time again. And yet they go to the goal line and I don't think Derrick Henry's not even on the field. They take Mark Andrews and put him in at the wildcat position and take Derrick Henry off the field. Why are we still taking Derrick Henry off the field on 3rd and 4th down? And that right there, that series, everything with the play calling, the coaching decisions, everything that happened at that goal line encapsulated everything with this team. It just did. The defense played a better game. They did. But that's only because I think Matt Stafford missed 2 touchdowns. I think he overthrew Devontae a couple times in the end zone. Like, it wasn't like they had splash plays or anything like that. It was literally they got lucky, But no, that series right there, I think, encapsulated everything of where this team is at 1-5.
Yep.
And looking at that video now of looking at how we started the season, I don't know. I think I'm telling myself this now. Like, why do I do this to myself at the beginning of the year? Every year with Harbaugh. If Harbaugh's the head coach, this is what they do. This is what they do.
Yeah,
that's all I got.
I mean, it was hard not to feel that way in the beginning of the year because, I mean, on paper, I mean, we look like probably the most legitimate contenders out there. But yeah, like, it's just been a major letdown. We've been talking for weeks now about accountability and the lack of accountability. We're still seeing it in the post-game pressers, mainly by Harbaugh, not taking accountability for the product that he's putting out on the field. He preaches fundamental this, fundamental that. They're this close to doing what they need to do. All of that. It's just all a bunch of excuses to not take accountability. And the fundamentals that they need to get back to is fundamental coaching. Whatever happened to just having common sense and making decisions? That whole goal line stand that you were talking about just now with the touch push with the tight end, like it literally doesn't make any sense. I mean, I don't think there's a team in the league that wouldn't have pushed that in. Like, our offensive line might be the worst in the league at this point. The fact that it's not only affecting them in a pass game and protecting the quarterback, but it's also we can't even get a run game now. Because when our line was questionable and suspect in the pass, we were usually talking about the pass game. We weren't really talking about the run game. We usually had the run game going if we had nothing going. I mean, if nothing else was working on our team on both sides of the ball, we at least was able to run the rock a little bit. And the fact that we couldn't even get those points down there in that St. Louis game is just inexcusable. And yeah, we don't have to go into detail. Obviously, the 2 turnovers killed us. The Zay Flower fumbles. We just can't win games like that, especially when we're down our MVP quarterback. But that game, yeah, we held them to 17 points. But like, they want congratulations for that. I don't understand how, just because you held a Rams team to 17 points means that you've corrected issues that you've corrected the previous 2 weeks when we got the dog shit beat out of us, pretty much. And yeah, Puka Nacua was also not on the field for most of that game. He got injured. He came back, but he wasn't. They weren't using him because he was favoring his ankle or whatever happened to him. If Puka was still out there that whole game, that score would have definitely been a lot worse than what it was. So I'm not patting the defense on the back. I will give them credit for at least seeing some type of effort this week. I mean, because it's hard for any defense to overcome when your offense has 2 fumbles and you got to get right back on the field and all of that. I will give them credit because it definitely did not look the same. But is that defense like defense that I saw that should save a job? No, no, not at all. I still saw some of the same issues. We still have a pass rush that's completely missing. We had some splashes from, I can't remember the guy's name, our new guy on the defensive line. He looked okay, but yeah, I think so. And he looked good, but outside of that, man, we in trouble. Like, I mean, luckily, the best news for the Ravens right now is that for once we got like an early bye week, which we usually hate early bye weeks. Our bye weeks, we always feel that they come at the right time. That's no different this year. We got an early bye week, and I hated it looking at the schedule when the season first started. But now it's like, if we didn't have it, I don't know what we would be doing. But yeah, it's just a horrible product that we have on the football field. I think I'm still leaning on the coaches at this point. I'm leaning on EDC. It's just, we trade away Oway, which, I'm not mad at it because you trade away Oway. Now I'm waiting for the follow-up move. What's the follow-up? And, we've added a couple of pieces here and there, but it's just not good enough. We lost Oway. Tavius Robinson broke his foot immediately after that. Now we're down two rushers. So what's the plan going forward? Because to my knowledge, you guys are going to have to find another trade. Y'all got to trade and get somebody else in that building. Whether that means we're going to have another casualty on the roster or what, we got to get somebody in there for that position. And yeah, just offensively we're just stuck. And that whole not putting Patrick Ricard on IR has proven to be a huge blunder, way bigger than what they're letting on. Especially with Lamar not in the offense. It's kind of like you can't really afford to not have guys in there that can fill certain voids that we're used to having. And Pat Ricard, if he's going to do anything, he's going to block well. That's one thing that he's going to do well is block well. And 84, that's what I call him. I don't even call him by his name at this point. 84 is just not it. Like, he just hasn't been it. He does not block the same. He's kind of like, he contributes to our offensive line perfectly because none of them block. So yeah, we're in trouble. Offensive line's in trouble. I'm still waiting for moves. I'm just been sitting back, bored, waiting for news to hit my feed, and nothing's happening. So prayers up to the Ravens, man. I just hope I hope we figure it out. I hope some decisions get made. I feel like we're about to be on the tail end of our bye week before you know it, and it's still quiet in Owens Mills. So something's got to be done.
It's bad. It's bad. Oh my goodness. This may be the lowest I felt as a fan in a long time. Because you're saying it's quiet, Trey. That silence is killing me as a fan. The fact that the O-line coach keeps saying that these guards, specifically Falafel, they're improving every week and we're riding with them as the starters. I've watched nothing but clips over the past few weeks of Falafel just falling at the line of scrimmage, not making plays. It was funny. I was watching a video today of someone playing Madden, and Falafel did the same thing on Madden. Like it's like they were like the hook on the reel was like Madden is so realistic, and it was just Falafel falling and letting somebody get to the quarterback. Um, but it's so silent that it's killing me. You know, the only thing I'm hearing out of Owens Mills is the one player we've been rooting for to get more touches and to get playing time is a trade target. You know, Keaton Mitchell. Not saying anything about coaching changes, not saying anything about maybe Chuck Pagano helping more with the play calling and the game plan. No. It's like Lamar will get back and then we're a playoff team. That seems to be the sentiment. Lamar comes back, we're a playoff team. Look, Lamar is a talented quarterback, Hall of Fame quarterback. He's going to be one of the best NFL players of all time when it's said and done. He's not a miracle worker. There's no NFL player that can make this team work with the incompetence in the coaching positions. And it's that simple and put. There's no NFL player. Tom Brady ain't taking this team to no Super Bowl. The GOAT. Not with the incompetence from the top down. It's just really tough to see. It's really tough to see because I don't see a silver lining. I don't see hope. I don't see a glimmer. All I see is Lamar's going to come back. He's going to look good, and we're still going to lose. That's what I see. We're going to look like the old Chiefs. Remember the old Chiefs with Jamal Charles way before Pat Mahomes? They'll put up 30 points a game, and they'll be 6-10 or 5-11 because the defense was atrocious. The coaching was atrocious. I mean, to be honest, even looking at those clips that you were playing, Miles, it was like, you know, you said it, like we drank the Kool-Aid that they give us every year. This player is going to break through. We see all the Bleacher Report articles. We see the Baltimore Banner articles, the Baltimore Sun articles. This is the year. It should happen. And then you come out and see incompetence from the top down. So I don't know what to say about the rest of the season. There's no sense of urgency. There wasn't a sense of urgency at the backup quarterback position. And we said in the offseason, that matters. That matters. And what happened? Cooper Rush, a statue in the pocket who can really only throw 5 to 7 yards accurately. There were calls in the preseason, go get Anthony Richardson because he at least fits the scheme, you know, or draft someone that could fit the scheme. I mean, there's quarterbacks that could have been had. Joe Milton could have fit the scheme. You know, he's sitting there backing up on the Cowboys. I mean, there's so many options we had. Pass rush could have been addressed. Trey Hendrickson was out there waving a flag all offseason. Granted, I mean, I don't know, AFC North, they like trading it within the division. You know, you throw enough capital, you could have Trey Hendrickson. Max Crosby was out there. You know, Khalil Mack was out there. There were so many guys that were out there.
Michael
and
Parsons.
We just did not prioritize at all. No prioritization over the holes. And we set these holes in the offseason. We may have drank the Kool-Aid, but we saw the holes. The holes, Falafel. Pause, by the way. Falafel, backup quarterback, and pass rusher. Those are the gaps on the Ravens team that could have really sabotaged the season. And then come season time, what do we see? It sabotaged the season because we're getting stopped on the 1 yard line 3 times in a row. Lamar's getting hurt, doesn't have time to throw. We can't play well in the clutch. Every quarterback is playing 7-on-7 on our defense. There's no way for us to win this way, and there's no urgency from DeCosta. Harbaugh is just there for the ride. He's just there. I don't know what the heck he's doing. Zach Orr, I'm just shocked that a player that seemed so intelligent when he was on the football field could run up schemes so idiotic. And to put so many pass rushers in coverage like their Adalius Thomas. I don't know. I don't know where to go from here as a Ravens fan. I'm just lost, confused, and I don't know what's next. And that's just where I'm at with it.
And I think you were talking about, was it Alohi Gilman Trey? Was you talking about Lohi, the safety we brought in from the Chargers? I think that's what you were talking about. I think.
He was one guy, but I was talking about we brought in. Yeah, Jenkins one I was talking about, but yeah, Gilman too.
Gilman didn't play bad either. He played okay
for his. Yeah, he was fine.
No, yeah, it's just from when you look at where, like you said, Travis, with all the issues that they had, and just in the offseason, but now we even know there's more issues. Like one of my thing is that the middle linebacking position clearly did not get addressed. They just said we're going to stick with Trenton Simpson, and you end up getting Teddy Buchanan, who's undrafted, and it's not anywhere near better than it was even 2 years ago. When Adarius Washington got hurt, and they didn't address it then, they knew how important he was to that safety area, especially allowing Kyle Hamilton to play more down near the line of scrimmage. And you didn't address it when Darius got hurt. And he got hurt at the beginning of training camp. They could have signed somebody. They could have traded for somebody or whatever and addressed it. They didn't address it then. They went in and said, oh, Voorhees, Linderbaum, Falele, we're fine with that. We're not going to do anything extra. We're fine. I think the main problem I have with the Ravens and how the front office operates especially is that we don't need to upgrade. Everything's fine the way it is. And yet, when I look at teams like the Chiefs, I look at teams like the Eagles, and other good teams, they're always adding people every season. That was a Super Bowl team that won last year for the Eagles. And yet, their GM is still going out there making trades. He's still going out there signing people. He's still going out there saying, like, we're going to cut this guy. Yeah, he was good for us last year, but can kind of read the tea leaves. We need to get rid of him now and go get somebody else. The fact that these teams and these GMs have the foresight, right, to see down the line, like, we can always be better. Like, we're not going. It'd have been real easy for the Eagles to just stand pat. We're fine with the guys that we have. We're not going to, do anything extra. We're not going to just do. But the GM's like, nah, he's still making moves, even during the draft and even during free agency. I'm still making stuff happen. And what do we see every year, right, for the Ravens? Ravens don't do anything the first 2 weeks. You see names just dropping off the board for free agency. All these top guys just dropping off the board, and then the Ravens, they got to steal with this guy. They got to steal with this one. I'm like, and I was just telling my wife about, like, every year ESPN, Bleacher Report, everybody gives the Ravens an A+, A- for their draft, like every year, right? The last 5 to 6 years. And when you look at the draft picks the Ravens have, how many of these guys still be on the team, or even contributing at a high level? I mean, so it's like, what are we doing here? Are the Ravens paying off people in the PR departments for these different organizations and stuff to try to get good PR? Because that's what it seems like. They keep giving the Ravens these A+, but we don't see it translate on the field at all. And like I said about the Jalen Hurts, the Eagles situation, when you look at how that team is built, and while they have issues this year, they at least have built a system where if Jalen Hurts were out of it, they could still run it. If Jalen Hurts was not in the system, they could still run the system. Problem with Lamar, we see he is the system. This team cannot function without him, period. And it's wild to see other teams when their quarterbacks get hurt and are missing a couple games, and they can still go win a game or two. They can still go win a game or two with their team. The fact that one player leaves the team and everything falls apart shows how poorly built this team is. Travis, you've said it plenty of times. It's Lamar, go save us. That's the Ravens, kind of how they operate. Lamar, go save us. They don't build this team as much as they'll say it on the news and on ESPN and stuff like that. This team is not built for Lamar. It's not. It is not built for Lamar, because if it was, it would be a lot more options for him to get the ball downfield than start throwing 25 and 30-yard passes every time. Where's the dump offs? Where's the drag routes? Where's the guys getting out the flats? Where's the split back formations in the backfield? Like, this is not built for Lamar. It's not. It's literally Lamar scramble around for 5 to 7 seconds and hopefully stuff opens up down the field. That's literally it. That's literally it. And like I said, even with Greg Roman, we couldn't throw the ball a lick. But guess what? We were running 200 yards a game. We were getting 200 yards of offense on, rushing the ball. Can't even do that now.
Yeah, you wonder where the turnovers come from, like fumbling the ball all the time, even in the playoffs last year. Like, Lamar's fighting for his life out there, man. He's trying to make a play for his team because he's not, like, getting the most complimentary help from the rest of the guys, especially on the line. So yeah, I mean, you put any quarterback back there, they'll be making mistakes, especially when they realize that they're the one guy that has to get it done.
Right.
And yes, Lamar's a human highlight reel, but it'd be nice if he didn't have to be
Yeah.
every
Right.
down.
And I think that's my thing. It's just you have the fact that Likely hasn't been involved. He's been playing now for 2 weeks, and what are they doing with him? Like, what is going on? It's amazing how many guys disappear in this offense. It's amazing to me how many players disappear in this offense. When you see other teams literally utilize everybody. If you dress that day, you're going to play. Especially you look at the Chiefs; they're going to use everybody. Like if you dress that day, you're going to at least get 1 or 2 targets. And we go time again see too many games where these players have a good game week before and then next week disappear. What happened to him? Keith Mitchell not seeing the field, egregious. I've even heard Likely being a trade target this year as well. I've heard Likely can be a trade target.
He better not trade Likely. You gotta remember, like this. All this is just confirming the value of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about Likely. Where's Likely? Where's all these people? Like when Lamar's not on the field, you got to think. If you go back and think about Likely's biggest plays on our offense, it's based on Lamar getting free, doing something ridiculous, getting out of the pocket, throwing it an impossible pass. A lot of times cross body, and then Likely coming up and making an incredible catch.
Yeah.
Most of his big plays aren't just schemed up. Like a lot of his plays is based on phenomenal quarterback play where Lamar's playing out of his mind and he has to do something impossible to get him the football. And then every now and then, like I said, he will get a pass directly to him and then likely will make a guy miss. But when Lamar's out of there and you got a backup in, whether it's Huntley or Cooper Rush or whoever you got back there, they don't have that rapport with Likely, and they're not even looking his way half the time when he dropped back to throw the ball because they just don't have the same confidence that Lamar would have in him because Lamar knows what he does when he needs a bailout. So it's so many. It's really not that complicated. When Lamar's not on the field, like you said, Miles, his offense does not work. I don't even know if it's I don't even know if it's like a system thing, because it's like to me it's just a straight up coaching thing. I just think that we just don't have good coaches.
It feels like they don't even have a scheme. Like when they're out there, like you said, when Lamar's running around, I'm like, there is no scheme.
Yeah,
it's literally relying on Lamar
football.
Just doing whatever.
Yep.
There's no scheme.
The route tree is probably the worst that I've seen.
Yeah.
Just the guy, like they're doing the same routes. I mean, they're pulling Zay underneath. They're dragging him almost every play. You got maybe Bateman's going deep, trying to clear somebody out.
Right.
And then you just got everything else is just kind of a freestyle. It's like wherever you end up, it's like find Lamar. So they run their initial route. They don't get the ball yet. You turn around. Where's Lamar? Oh, he's running to the left. I'm out of the play. He's running to the right. I'm going to try to run to the right. Like, it's just a whole bunch of freestyling going on. It's not really any type of – forget about a game plan. But like you said, just scheming up guys and getting guys in position. I feel like they're struggling with that on both sides of the ball. And it's weird. It's very, very weird because Monken was here last year. Offense did not look like this. Just last year, it didn't look like this. It's just that – when things are on a roll and things are going, it's like they just kind of take themselves completely out. If we're like down or we're behind, they just take us completely out of the game. It's just weirdo decisions, weirdo nuanced decisions, and a lot of these decisions are just, to me, head coaching decisions. It's like this is what we're doing. Like, yes, Monken has a game plan when he comes in, but you have a job to do. When that play comes in and they're saying we're going to do that tight end sneak shit, that's where Harbaugh is supposed to step up with his googly eyes and say, no, we're not doing that. We have Derrick Henry, whom we paid again. We need to send him 3 times in a row. Like, it is what it is. The fact that they didn't try that first is telling. It's like, come on, man. It's like it's one thing is to have bad coaching. Another thing, and I said this last week, is to be negligent. And I think the Ravens coaching room is just completely negligent on both sides of the ball. And Harbaugh does not have the skill set as a coach to veto anyone. The only thing that he'll try to make a decision on is if we should go for it or not. And half the time, those decisions are made by AI. So I don't want to hear anything about John Harbaugh being this elite coach and all of this, that, and the third. John Harbaugh has won like 3 playoff games in 10 years. Miss me with that. It's time to move on, man.
It would not surprise me if our play calling script came straight from Google Gemini, ChatGPT, Gumloop, whatever. We just out here doing prompts and engineering plays. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, we've seen so much craziness, and that 1 yard line. If Harbaugh gets fired in season, which there hasn't been a Ravens coach that's been fired in season.
Mm-mm. We've only
For
had
him
2,
to
right?
have like,
We've only had 2, right?
3.
3. Wait, who we had?
Yeah.
Who was the other one?
Mark Broda.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So if he gets
one.
fired in the season, we're gonna look back at that 1 yard line play. Like this is the Buffalo Bills game. There's all those challenges the past 3 or 4 years.
The challenge, the one challenge. When
against the Chargers last year,
when he just caught the ball in the end zone.
Oh yeah, the Chargers. I just didn't think he could do that. I'm like, what do you mean he couldn't do that? Like the ref was like, that's not a challenge, man. Keep your flag, man.
They extended him. Like,
yeah. But that 1 yard line play, that's gonna if he loses his job in season, we're gonna look back at that play. If he loses his job, period, we're gonna look back at that play. So I mean, it's one of the most egregious things. We've seen so many. I think, we've called this out. We could probably pull a whole podcast worth of clips of John Harbaugh plays. So all of us just reacting to it, showing the highlight, that could fill up about a good 3 hours of podcast time, just playing those clips. That's how frequent it's been. So something's got to be done, man.
The Titans coach just got fired, 1-5 as well. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know John has tenure. We get that. But the product is the product. But they need butts in the stands. Like, if Lamar comes back after the bye week and we put out a product similar to that, people aren't going to keep coming to these games.
No.
Like, it's a dub.
Ticket prices are already dropping.
And
the resale prices.
If you don't do anything, no coaching changes whatsoever, you're not sending a message to the rest of the team that things are not okay. You're just saying, oh, yeah, everything's fine. We'll just go to the Bears and just keep it moving. And then I'm like, you're going into that Bears game, like with DeAndre Swift and them and Caleb and Roma Dunze, like Cole Kmet, like you're going to get worked.
You got some dogs over there.
Worked.
Swift,
They're going to get worked. Yeah. And it's like, if they go 1-6, like you can just mail it in now. Yeah, definitely not happening. I don't care if they win the division or not. It ain't happening.
Just Cena Anderson said, there's a star player going to the owner about his coach. Yeah, and I'm willing to put $300 down on it being Lamar.
I'm looking at the situation around the NFL right now, and there's not many where it can't be the Ravens. There's not many situations right now where it can't be the Ravens. But yeah, nothing changes. I mean, they're just kind of like, oh yeah, everything's fine. It is what it is. I mean, look, I'm a Penn State fan. They just got rid of James Franklin. Okay. Cut him loose. He had a $50 million buyout, something crazy.
Yeah.
But they got rid of him.
You got to win games.
You can't lose 3. They saw, this is where I think the parallels are very, very similar. You look at what James Franklin came into Penn State. They weren't really a top 10, football program at the time after Joe Paterno, retires. He gets him back to that level. They're a top 10 team. However, once the playoff structure starts to hit, you see Michigan win a national title. Ohio State wins a national title. Penn State coming in this year, number 1, number 2, right behind Texas. Slated to be in the national title game. They were like, hey, we already seen 2 other Big Ten schools win national titles in back-to-back years. We need to win one. It's time. We got to win one now. Yeah. They lose again to Oregon, who is with his record being like one of the worst against top 10 teams, and then lose again to UCLA and again to Northwestern after a star quarterback gets hurt. And Penn State was like, I don't care if it's $50 million. He got to go.
Yeah.
It had to happen. It had to happen because they're like, we have a we had a goal set in mind when you came here. A goal set in mind was you're going to win a national title for us. We're going to give you a few years, get your recruiting classes together and everything like that. We're in the top 10. We're doing well. We're not seeing it. They didn't wait 18 years. They didn't wait around 18 years to kind of like, hope things go well. They were like, nah, man, it ain't working. We got to go with somebody else. And people say the same thing about Harbaugh. Well, Harbaugh's been, he's gotten this team to the playoffs and, they won the division this many times and stuff. Like, but what's the goal? If the goal is to just make the playoffs every year, then great. Harbaugh can stay here for the next 20 years. If that's the goal. But if your goal is to win a Super Bowl or win Super Bowls, that ain't it. And people keep saying, if the Ravens fire him, he's going to get snatched up. Somebody's going to pick him up real quick. Like Bill Belichick got fired by New England. Where is he at now?
Listen,
no NFL team wanted Bill Belichick.
That part don't even matter. That should give you more reason not to be a John Harbaugh sympathizer. He'll have a job if he wants one.
Somebody, if that's the case, somebody will snatch him up, right?
Yeah, if he wants a job, he's snatched up. His time is just run its course here.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll go somewhere and be a really, really good head coach. Like, I'm sure he will. He gets to start from fresh. He gets to start brand new. I can't knock what he can provide. We saw what he can do. It's just that his time has run its course.
It's done here. It definitely, we've seen it like ripples, I think, through the last few years where there were times where it definitely felt like the message wasn't getting there, but then eventually they would get back to it and they would go on this roll and win 5 or 6 straight games and everything's all great. But we can see this feels different, right? It just feels like the energy's out of the locker room. Guys aren't showing up to the press conferences anymore. Like I think it was after the this game where Zay fumbled the ball, I think twice in that game he fumbled the ball and he disappeared. And a lot of the writers are like, where's the accountability now with this team? Like where's they're like, even if Ray and Ed didn't have bad games, they stayed to answer questions about what happened. Like they didn't like move away from it. They didn't I'm gonna dip out the back door so they can't see me. Like where's the accountability now? And it's just all like Harbaugh is gonna say everything for the team. He's gonna do everything for the team. He is the voice box for the team, and that's what's disappeared. The character and personalities from this team have gone. And it feels like to me, and I was telling another one of my friends about like the Ravens, and they asked me about what the situation was. And it's like, I feel like I feel like guys have come into the team with dog mentality and, that kind of energy. And I feel like he just coaches it out of them when they get there. He just said, we're not going to do that here. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. And they just like, okay, I'm just going to play by the system and just do that. And I feel like he coaches it out of them because he doesn't want anybody criticizing him that has a jersey on. He doesn't want anybody criticizing him that has a jersey on. He can't take that criticism. And I think a healthy relationship, when you see guys yelling at their coaches or whatever like that, I feel like that's healthy. You got a guy that wants to win. That stuff happens on the sideline when you see players yelling at their coaches. Brady used to do it all the time with Belichick. Peyton Manning used to do it with Tony Dungy all the time. That stuff happens. But those are guys that want to go. They want to win football games. But it's very clear that Harbaugh can't take that. We saw it plenty of time when Marcus Peters was here. Remember when Marcus Peters did that to Harbaugh? We all said he's gone. He's out of here. He's gone. He had one blow up with Harbaugh, and then at the end of the season, he was gone. He was out of there.
Yep. Bernard Pollard, that whole squad.
Holden, all of them. So it's
that's the one thing I wish Lamar had a little bit more of, and he's just such a good guy.
Yeah,
that he's not going to rock the boat. He's just not going to rock the boat. Not in the public eye anyway. I don't know what he's doing behind the scenes, but Harbaugh would be gone a lot sooner if we saw in some type of public showing of his frustration with the head coach. But he's just not that type of guy. I think Lamar, before he did that, he packed up and request to be out of there before he did that. But tough, man.
So we're heading to a bye. What do you think needs to happen? Versus what's actually happening versus nothing right now. Nothing's happening right now. It's Thursday. Nothing's happening right now. What needs to happen? Obviously, the old line's not going to drastically change at this point. There's only but so much you can do scheme-wise. Or they're already down 2 outside linebackers, so the pass rush, which was non-existent, is probably about to become even more non-existent. But what do you think is some things that they can change, they can do to try to turn this around, whether it be more like just the energy in the locker room, and then the scheme, whatever that. What do you think needs to change?
The offensive line is just cooked, I think. I don't think there's not one move out there that you can make that's going to really change anything around significantly outside of benching 77. Falafel got to go. I just think he's putting on too. It's almost like he's intentionally being trash. It's like it's weird, like because it doesn't. The tape that we've seen every week of him playing football, it's almost like it's not possible to be this bad. Like the stuff that he's doing, like off the snap, is like he's on the ground almost immediately, or he's looking for somebody to block and can't find somebody to block. It's just very very weird. So I think offensive line wise, I think we're just kind of cooked. I mean, but you at least be sending a message to your fan base and to your locker room that if you bench Falele, then at least you're showing us something. As far as anything else that needs to happen and I'm assuming we're not talking about coaching changes because what I want to see is a coaching change. Somebody got to go. Zach Orr has to go. We know Harbaugh is not going anywhere. You need to make a coaching change or sign another coach to. Pagano's in the building, so we need to do something. Something needs to be announced where there's some type of dissemination of responsibilities over there on the defensive side of the ball. I would be happy if they at least did that. But overall, I think we need to make some type of significant move before November 4th deadline? Is that the date? Whatever this trade deadline is, a significant move needs to be made. I think the bye week is the perfect time to do it. It seems like me and Travis were talking about, it's really, really quiet. We're not really hearing any changes. But for us to move the needle, at least, I think they need a significant trade on that defensive side of the ball, specifically pass rush. Maybe a personality over there. I don't know how, some guys that's been floating around, Max Crosby's and all these, I don't know how they get it done, but I think they need to get somebody in the building and sooner than later to make any real change. If they don't make any moves, if they make no trades, and I'm not even talking about free agent. There's no free agent out there that's going to help what we got going on. It's just not. But if they don't make any trade, they at this point they have to. They're going to have to dig into draft picks. I don't know, what they're going to do, but they got to give something up. And for our roster that has looked this good on paper before the season started, lean on that draft that you thought was so good and give up some of them picks for next year. And maybe we try to just get a young guy in here off of a trade. That's a dog. The Giants' old defensive line is pretty much all legit. Like you have your pick of the litter in the league. It's just that you got to come with the right price. And Harbaugh, if you're desperate enough to save your job at the end of the year, then you and EDC will get together and make something happen. But that's the only thing that's going to move the needle here for me is that if they make a significant trade, not trading away back and flipping a 6th and a 5th round pick. I'm not talking about that. I'm sorry, trading away and flipping a 5th and 6th round pick. I'm not talking about that. They need to make a significant move. And they might have to part ways with a 2nd round pick or something, but we need to get a dog over here. That's the only way the needle's going to move. Mute.
Oh, I'm on mute.
Yeah.
There's a lot of potential things we could do, but I don't know what realistic move we are going to make. I mean, at the end of the day, the biggest things we can do right now to move the needle is go get a guard, go get a pass rusher. Those are the 2 moves. If you don't have a lot of capital you're trying to dish out, you can go get a guard, go get a pass rusher.
Get Kevin Zeitler from the
Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, they just fired their coach, so they're probably tanking the rest of the year.
Of course,
Jeffrey
Simmons.
Yeah. I mean, we could do something with trying to go get Zeitler and Simmons, maybe a double deal. You rarely see where you go get 2 players from the same team.
But Ben Powers is out there somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we could always throw the Hail Mary at Max Crosby. We could throw the Hail Mary.
That's a personality we need, man. That's a personality we need in Baltimore for real.
But outside of that, I think Gilman, he's gonna help a lot I saw that move in action this week, and where they're putting Kyle in the place that Miles loves him. I'm not going to say it, but I'll let you say that later. He likes Kyle in the box. but I see that there's going to be improvement there. But I think the thing that's just going to continue to haunt us on the defensive side is going to be the coaching, which I'm gonna leave out of this, but really just the pass rush. And so you got to go get a pass rusher. And I think the other part is like we really got to refine our offensive identity. I know Lamar was out, Cooper Rush, he's a lost cause, but throughout the season we haven't had a real identity offensively. I think it goes back to the conversation we had earlier. Like it's just been Lamar running hero ball. I mean, I think it's been one game where Derrick Henry's gotten 20 carries this year.
Yeah.
One game.
Egregious.
So yeah, we've been a little all over the place with our identity. We've been all over the place with our usage. I think the up and down usage of DeAndre Hopkins. I've seen DeAndre Hopkins in on more running plays this year than passing plays. I think there's just we don't have a good grasp on who we are. So I think during the bye, we got to figure that out. We got to figure out where to put certain guys. I mean, I think the one thing I think Corey's called it out, we've called it out, is how are we using Trenton Simpson? He's a heck of an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
He's a heck of an athlete. But he was most effective in college either playing in coverage as a nickel dime backer or with his hand in the dirt. And what did we see on Sunday? They put his hand in the dirt and he got back there to the quarterback. So we got to try something new there and really try to put our guys in better positions. We're doing it with Kyle. I think you got to do that with Trent Simpson. I mean, I think Buchanan has played better at that middle linebacker spot than Trent Simpson has since he's been here. So lock Buchanan in, let him get his reps, let him improve and grow. But put Simpson's hand in the dirt because we got to generate that pass rush going forward. So, I mean, that's what's going to come down to. I mean, we got to fix those holes. Falafel, whatever. He just can't be on the field. He can't. He can't.
He's played so bad now.
I'll take Bullock, Cleveland. I'll take the next guy off the street. Like, I'll go back there and play guard for them. Like, whatever to get Falafel off the field. I mean, that has to be the number one priority during the bye. If you don't do anything else, you got to get this guy off the field because all he is a bowling pin that keeps falling.
Yep.
Put Emory Jones out there. Something. Put Emory Jones.
Yeah.
He's been practicing.
You know what's crazy?
lately.
They were talking about, like, I think there was a reporter asking about, like, are they considering Emory Jones? And I think either Harbaugh or the offensive line coach, he was just saying, this guy's only been practicing for 2 weeks. So what? Put him out there. It can't be worse than this.
It cannot be worse.
He's cleared. The guy was good in college.
Falele had been practicing all
athletic.
Year.
Yeah. He had training camp. He had mini camp. He had all the camps. Yeah. And it looked like he hadn't been practicing at all. So I don't want to hear all that mess.
He has no
he's playing like he has
athleticism. Emory Jones does. So let him get that work in. I mean, it can only go up from here. It can't get worse than Falafel. So
I don't know how these guys watch tape every week and they just do nothing.
I want to be a fly in the film room.
The fact that they haven't made any adjustments on the O-line for 6 weeks after watching how bad they've been each week, and you haven't tried anything new, nothing. And Stanley basically can't play on that ankle anymore. He's tried 3 weeks now to try to play on that ankle, and they keep take him out of the game. He can't play on that ankle anymore. He might be done.
It's crazy.
He might be done. Because I know they're not seeing how hardball is. They didn't tell us about Ricard until like last week that, we probably should have put him on in season-ending IR. You wasted a roster spot for that to keep him on IR. Like the doctors probably told you, he's going to be out for like 3 months.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes back on IR. I mean, if he actually put him on IR now. Because I haven't heard anything about him coming back or practicing.
Yeah.
Still.
So I'm like, he's like I said, the Stanley, his situation is done. So your left tackle situation is up in the air as well. But yeah, the fact that they haven't done anything on offense to try to adjust anything, and like you guys said, work out a scheme. Work out a scheme on offense to find out what works. Don't do this, hey, everybody run 20 yards downfield to give Lamar some space to run. Because I feel like that's what they're doing. They're letting everybody run all the way downfield and try to let Lamar get past the second level and let him get 30, 40 yards down the field. Like, no. If you guys want him to be, if you want him to be a quarterback and all, you got to create some levels. Get some guys run into, create the mesh plays or stuff, do some underneath stuff. Have Justice Hill in the dump off area. Have Derrick Henry in the dump off area. I don't understand why you're not letting Derrick Henry get out in space. Like, let him get out in space and he's one-on-one with somebody. I'll take that every time. I don't understand why they don't do that more often. If he's struggling running through the offensive line with how bad they are with run blocking, get him outside and get him the ball so he can just run down. I think a lot of this stuff is elementary. It really is. I feel a lot of this stuff is elementary, but they refuse to do it. I think their egos or whatever are just too big to admit that this isn't working. And like you guys said, if they don't add a pass rush during this week, next week, whatever, if they don't do any of that, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. You already lost Tavis Robinson for the year. Nothing's going to change. You gotta show that we're trying to make things better, because all you're doing is telling guys like Lamar, guys like Nate Wiggins, guys like Kyle that we just suck this year. We're not going to do anything. We're going to hold on to these draft picks. We're going to get these 12, 13 draft picks we're going to get. When these guys leave here this season, whatever. Sick of this mess, man. This is.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's rough.
Let's go to our bells and Pookeys of the week. Bells and Pookeys.
It's a good
All
one.
right. This week, I'm gonna go with I'll go with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams did have a pretty decent game this week against the Commanders. He's starting to look a little bit better. He's still, the way he throws the football is off to me. I don't know. It looks wrong. I'm like, the man throws it. He throws it like a 5-year-old, like my son does. Like, he throws it like, he turns his whole body another direction. I'm just like, I don't understand how he throws the football the way he does. But he did lead them down the field to kick the field goal. And shout out to the kicker, Jake Moody, who had gotten cut, I think, earlier in the season or right after training camp, and goes in there and he kicks like 3 or 4 field goals to help win the football game. And I also wanted to just see more of the Bears-Commanders rivalry. This feels like a good rivalry that they have building right here with Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Both games they've played have been down to literally the last drive of the game has been down to the wire. Keep that going. So that gets my bell. It's my bell for this week.
Yeah, my bell for this week is, I got 2 bells. One, Michael Penix Jr. What a bounce back game for him, man. He looked phenomenal. I mean, I think he had like 250 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
but
against the Bills too.
Yeah, against the Bills, who seem like they're kind of proven to be a little fraudulent over there. I mean, all of their wins, their opponents had a combined 3-21 record. Didn't realize that, but they haven't beaten nobody, and they're losing some crazy games. And but yeah, Michael Penix Jr. He had those guys out there looking great. I mean, the way he was throwing the ball to Drake London and even Bijan out of the backfield, like he had those guys humming from the first quarter all the way through the end of the game. So shout out to him. He's definitely getting one of my bells for the week. And the other bell, he could be a bell every week. Baker Mayfield. I mean, God damn it! Like, is he not looking like an MVP to you? Like, the guy's just a baller. He's putting up points. He's flashy. He's he's doing everything that he's been doing, but he's winning games, and he's winning games in dominating fashion. And yeah, I just got to give him a bell for how consistent he's been from week to week. He's just electric. I'll say that. Like, he's electric. He's not been known. We haven't known Baker for his wheels and all this other stuff, but the way he's getting breaking tackles and running the ball after contact, and that one play that you're talking about, that's what we like to call an MVP moment. Plays like that, when that's going to define your career. When you're long done playing, that's going to be the highlight they're going to be showing. He's continuing to make more and more of those plays. So Baker Mayfield is the easy one for me. I think I'm probably going to be calling him a bell for a few more weeks, depending on how the season goes. But him and Michael Penix Jr., too easy.
You going to quarterbacks? I'm gonna go to running backs. Bijan Robinson and Rico Dowdle, both going over 200
Rico,
yards of
man,
offense.
Rico did his thing, man.
I don't know where this Rico came from, but golly. I mean, the way he's running the ball is insane. The way he's catching the ball. I think I've known him as more of a receiving back, like a Justice Hill type. But if Justice Hill ever got behind that line and toted that rock, like, that's Rico Dowdle right now. He's playing insane. And this is like after their lead back, Chuba Hubbard, who I thought was going to be an all-pro candidate this year, has gone down. He got those Panthers at 500. I don't remember the last time they've been a 500 team.
It's been a while.
It's probably been more than 5 years.
Yeah.
Panthers might have got a Pookie from us, I think, at least 75% of the time.
Last year they were trash.
Absolutely.
It was like every week. It can't be the Panthers this week. Like,
whether it was the whole team, Bryce Young, or anybody else, like it's been, it's just crazy where they are now. But
two really good running backs, a quarterback that keeps improving. Like his numbers ain't the greatest, but his tape in the clutch, it looks good. And then of course Bijan Robinson. I mean, look, we've been saying for a couple of years, just keep getting him more touches, and he's going to go crazy. And he's doing that this year. Shout out to him, 200 plus yards, total offense, 40 fantasy points, fantasy victory for me. So yeah, those are my bells.
Nice.
All right, and now we're gonna go to our Pookeys, and one of my Pookeys this week goes to everybody that's not the Chiefs because of how mediocre everybody has been this season. Everybody's now talking that the Chiefs could be waltzing back to the Super Bowl because they got Rashee Rice back this week. I'm sick of it. Sick of it. Everybody, the Chiefs are wounded. This is the time. This is the place and the time to just kick them out of here. Everybody's playing like trash right now. Like you can see this year, like I said, I think I said this a couple shows ago. This is going to be one of those weird years that you see somebody that's not supposed to be in the Super Bowl. One of those weird years. Like it's because everybody's mediocre this year. Like everybody, you can tell, even with the Chiefs, like everybody has clear deficiencies. So it's like at any point you feel like the playoffs, which I think will make it for a good playoff season. It will make for a good playoffs because it's like really you don't know. It's really who's going to be the healthiest and who's the hottest at that point. But for allowing the Chiefs to have any glimpse of getting back on track, shame on you. Shame on you.
Yeah. Once again, I got two Pookies, man. First, I got to go with Justin Fields, man. My man went 9 for 17 for 45 yards. 45. That's the stat line. No, that game's not in the first quarter right now. That game is over, and it's been over for days. That's the final stat line for my man. Yards. No other stats. It's 9 for 17, 45, no picks, no TD, no nothing. And yeah, man, just a very lackluster offense. I'm not blaming 100% on Justin Fields, but you know, he had opportunities. I watched a lot of that game, and I saw some passes that just were going over guys' heads, flying out of bounds. Like, just ain't it. They gotta figure something out over there. And my other one, not to keep it dragging, the other Pookie I had was the Eagles offense. Not really a particular player on the Eagles offense. I don't really think it's the player's fault. I just think that and it's not even a criticism of Jalen Hurts. I just think that the offensive coordinator over there is not doing them any favors. They're running a very bland, unseasoned offense, kind of similar to offense that I know nearby. But yeah, they just not getting it done over there offensively with all the talent they got on their roster. I mean, you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Saquon Barkley, Quez Watkins. Like they got some guys, and they got a line that typically can block pretty well if Landon Dickerson is healthy. But yeah, they just got too many too many superstars over there for the offense to look as bland as it has looked. And the way that they just let the Giants, not come in there, because I think this game was in New York, but the way that the Giants did them dirty, you defend the Super Bowl champs, they got to get a Pookie from me. The offense was very vanilla.
And I think before you go, Travis, I think somebody said it on one of the shows. Keep them out of third and short and fourth and short. They can't do anything, and it shows. The last 2 weeks, you keep them out of third and short and fourth and short. They can't do much anything.
That touch push is all they got.
If you keep them third and 6, third and 5, third and 6, fourth and 5, they can't do much anything.
Yeah.
I had a question before I go with my Pookies. What is our version of the tush push called? Because I mean,
it ain't much of a push at all.
Is it the tight end rear end or something? Like, I don't know what
it's the trust fall. That's what we have. We have the trust fall. We fall backwards.
Trust fall.
The
fillet
trust fall. Yeah.
I think Harbaugh really thought he was innovative.
He thought he did.
Rolling that shit, rolling that out.
We're gonna do it better than they did.
We're gonna do it with our tight end, which makes more sense because we have Andrews, who has less legs than.
He also said that Andrews was a better ball handler on that play than Derrick Henry would be. I'm like, the running back?
Andrews had a catastrophic leg injury.
Your all-pro running back?
Yeah. And Mark Andrews has had a catastrophic leg injury. Why is he sneaking
right, exactly. Why is he even don't even put him in that situation?
Catastrophic.
All he takes is a fillet to flop on his back, on his leg when he's trying to dive over it. The first leg's gone. 350 pounds.
Yeah. Smash. Not good.
Well, this is a good segue because my Pookie is John Harbaugh. I guess it's an easy low-hanging fruit because at the 1 yard line, we do not score. Running that same play 3 times in a row, whatever you want to call it, the tush push, the tight end rear end, whatever it is, we are not scoring. And for you to not use your all-pro running back, you're paying $30 million, who had a 1,900-yard rushing season last year, who had 70 yards, 90 yards after contact at some point on Sunday. You do not run the ball in with him. You got to get a Pookie. There's just no way around it. That was all-time awful coaching. All-time awful. So, John Harbaugh, hopefully this is your last Pookie because either you learn your lesson or you get fired.
We're out of here.
Trash.
Right.
Trash.
Let's get to our week 7 picks. Let me say one thing. Pookie to the NFL. I'm sick of these doubleheader Monday Night Football games.
Yeah,
I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I would be fine with it. I think there was a time when I was a kid where they did do doubleheaders, but the first game was at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, ended right before the
and it was like the fourth quarter of that game, and then the next game would start. So you at least watch most of the game. I'm trying to watch what game it was this past Monday, and the game is still in the second quarter. I'm like, no, like
that had a double screen.
I hate how they do that. If you're gonna do that, you need to split. You need to have enough time in between those games. But
it's rough.
And I think they got 2 more this week. 2 more Monday Night Football games like that this week. So I don't understand why they're doing it. But week 7, Thursday night tonight, we got a Steelers-Bengals matchup. So Joe Flacco and the Bengals go against the Steelers. I think this is their first, not their first. I think they played the Browns already. But they go into Cincinnati, Thursday Night Football. Joe Flacco maybe airing it after Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. The Steelers a loss.
I'm gonna rock with it.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I'm gonna go with the Bengals. And Cincy Thursday Night Football.
I'm rocking with it simply because I went with the Steelers the last couple of weeks, and they came out to be correct, but maybe they will just do what I say they're gonna do. So I'm gonna get the Steelers the loss here, and I think Joe Flacco in Cincy first game back.
Yeah,
I think he's going after those Infinity Stones, man.
Yeah,
he got one left. I think he's going to
take the Steelers from every team.
I think he's going to beat the Steelers and then
every which way,
and then join them next year. Yeah, I got the Bengals.
Okay, I got the Bengals too.
Who you got, Trav?
Yeah, I think I'm about to go to Bengals, man. We got to tear the Steelers down.
Yeah,
Joe's the one to do it. I think, coming
Ravens for
off of
life.
being with that team for 2 days and, just being somewhat confident on Sunday, I think a full week with he's going to remember he has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Mike Gesicki and Chase Brown
He's
and that
never
guy
had
with
that
the long
before.
name. Yeah, he's never had that before.
Ever in his career.
And you're going to be allowed to just throw that ball all over the field, like with no remorse.
Yep.
So I think Joe Flacco is going to put some numbers. They're going to find out that Steelers secondary is sus.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this may be one of them classic Joe Flacco games where he throws for like 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and they squeak out a victory.
Yeah. Corey said Hendrickson is out, which I don't like that part of it, but
yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, they got that. Was just Brown? They got another guy. I thought they picked up. I can't remember. They drafted him. I can't remember the other edge rusher.
They got some guys.
Yeah, but London game, Rams versus Jags. The Jags, I think stayed in London. I think they played last week in overseas. The Rams did not leave the East Coast. They actually were practicing Camden Yards, I think, this morning.
Crazy.
Because they're heading to London this week. So Rams are playing the Jags. Rams comes off of not necessarily a win, but not necessarily a confident win. But they're going against a Jags team that they're a little confident right now. A little pep in their step. And if the Pooka situation, Pooka's going to be, I think he's going to be out for this game, high ankle sprain, so he's going to be out for a little while. Overseas games again get a little weird, but because the Jags have been there, they acclimated to the scenery and everything, and the time difference and all that good stuff. And the Jag again, I think the Jags have that momentum on their side right now. Even though the Rams won, I don't think they felt like. I think we just escaped this one. We didn't play that well. So I'm gonna give this one to the Jags. I'm gonna say the Jags win this one.
Yeah, I'm still a firm believer that the Jags are pretty ass. I just think that that win that they had against the Bills, that kind of made sense for me, but I don't know, man. I just think I think the Rams, I kind of like their defense a little bit better, just as far as like verse and they got some guys over there. And Matt Stafford is still been doing this thing. Oh, who's home in this one?
It's probably the Jags.
Jacksonville's home.
Team.
I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one. I just think that even if Puka is out, I mean, they still got a couple deep threat receivers with Tutu Atwell, and I think Tutu might be coming back for this game, even though Puka's out. And they got some guys that can still come up in there. Pause. Come in there and step up and do their thing. So I'm gonna still go with the Rams on this one. Yeah,
that was wild, Trey.
I know, man. I know. I'm a freaky man. What can I say?
Man, whoa,
freaky boy.
Relax.
A freaky boy.
Man. All right. Yeah, I wanted to say Jags. I think the fact that they stayed out there is going to really play an advantage. Because I think we've seen these overseas games, like you said, Miles, they get a little weird, especially with all that travel. And I think the Jags really are looking good. To be honest, I mean, if they really want to take it to the next level, they'd make a trade with the Ravens for Mark Andrews, but that's another topic. But I think the Jags pull this out, man. Their culture is growing. They're getting better every week. So I'm going to go Jags for this one.
All right. Most of these 1 o'clock games are not that good. But the 4 o'clock slot looks pretty solid.
Run them off quick.
Yeah. So let's see. The Patriots, Titans, Patriots.
Pats.
Panthers, Jets, Panthers.
Yeah.
Rico Dowdle goes off for another 200 yards.
Dolphins,
Browns. Browns just win by default. They're both trash. Bears, Saints.
I'm gonna go Bears.
That's not Bears. Bears at home.
Yeah.
Go Bears.
Chiefs, Raiders. I'll go
Chiefs.
Gino's not good.
And Richie Rice, I think, is back.
Yeah, so I'm not giving the Chiefs. Colts, Chargers, 4 o'clock game. Colts.
That's a good one.
That's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
Colts, Chargers.
Chargers have been holding together. They've lost both of their tackles for the season. And they've been holding together. I don't know how they've been doing it. but they've been with duct tape or whatever. Like they've been MacGyvering that line to keep things together. But this will be their true test. We got Josh, you got Jonathan Taylor, you got Pittman, Daniel Jones been playing really well. But that Chargers defense is still pretty good. I think this is gonna be a good game. This will be a real test for Daniel Jones. Real test for Daniel Jones here. Daniel Jones has been playing. I'll say Herbert and the Chargers win this one. I think Daniel Jones has to have a come to reality moment a little bit. Maybe bring him down. I think he's a little too high on himself. I think Jim Harbaugh wins this game. Jim and Herbert.
Yeah. I think and Corey said I'm surprised nobody said Tua as a Pookie. I think Tua we just had Pookie fatigue.
I need to put him
he has a reason.
He
literally is lost.
Yeah, he gives us a reason every week. I think we just have a Tua fatigue when it comes to Pookie for him.
Yeah.
So,
they haven't cut him yet.
But yeah, Colts Chargers. I think I'm gonna give it to the Colts, man. I like I like they got a consistent running game. Jonathan Taylor. I think Daniel Jones has been a different guy over there. They got some receivers that can catch the football, and their defense is not too shabby either. I mean, they've been keeping them in a lot of games. But yeah, I think the Chargers, they just been a little bit too inconsistent for me. They started off the year so hot, and now it's kind of like, you might get a hot offense, you might not. Like it's just kind of weird. The way they've kind of gotten a little inconsistent, even though they're still got a lot of talent over there. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one. I just think that every week they kind of have a shot to win, and I think they might pull it together and keep that Daniel Jones success going. I think the Colts are gonna win.
It's crazy for a Greg Roman offense. The Chargers' run game has been kind of mid this season, and I think that's why they're in the loop for the whole getting Keaton Mitchell situation. And for that reason, I'm going with the Colts. The Colts are the best team in the NFL right now. It may not end the season that way, but right now in week 6, they've been the best team. And Danny Dimes, nobody's talking about him for MVP. His numbers are his numbers better than Baker's?
It might be.
Nobody's talking about Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
But Jonathan Taylor's playing amazing. So yeah, I'm rolling with the Colts. You know what? I'm gonna just keep watching Colts games, and hopefully that'll make me happy since my team won't make me happy. Yeah, I'm rolling with the Colts here.
Okay. Giants Broncos, another 4:00 game. Giants at Denver. It's gonna be a defense. This is gonna be a defensive bloodbath. Both quarterbacks. Jackson Dart is obviously hotter right now, but without Malik Neighbors, I'm not sure what's going to really happen in the passing game. But they got Scatterboo. Scatterboo's bringing that energy, with him and Jackson. But that Denver defense, man, with Nick Bonito. Every time I see Nick Bonito, I'm mad. I get mad. Mm-hmm. Every time I see Nick Bonito, I'm like, that's a Raven right there.
So good.
That's a Raven. That man's played safety. He's played outside linebacker. He's played middle linebacker. He's had his hand in the ground. Like I get mad. Anyway, but that's going to be a good game. Good. If you want to watch a defensive matchup between which defense is going to be really good, that's going to be the game to watch. And the question is going to be which quarterback shows up. Bo Nix has not been playing well this year. Jackson Dart, this will be his 3rd game against a really good defense. So we'll see how he is, especially if he's getting pressure. But the Denver's at home. The Denver's defense is more experienced with what they're doing. I'm going to give it to Denver. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think Denver's defense is the reason why they win it. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really good game. I might give it to Denver just because they're home. I do think I don't think the Malik Neighbors absence is going to be as significant. I mean, it did matter this past week for them. They still dominated and looked pretty good. But I'm gonna go with Denver. Like I said, I just think they have the slightly better. Well, they have a really, really good defense as well. Probably one of the best defenses in the league right now. Bo Nix is doing just enough to get that offense going. He's not like doing anything spectacular, but Cortland Sutton, if the ball's in his area, he hasn't dropped anything that I've seen thrown in his direction. He's looking really, really good as well. And their running game is pretty decent too. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Denver on this one. Close, but I think that this will be one of the better games of the week. But I'll give it to Denver.
Bo Nix has been the worst rated quarterback on a winning team this season. Just as far as his play. They're slowing down. I think they started hot as a team.
Mm-hmm.
They're starting to slow down. They look god awful. Bo Nix looked god awful against the Jets. That was bad. That was really bad. Their defense is always going to play good, but at the same time, Justin Fields is Justin Fields. Jackson Dart is not Justin Fields. So I think these Giants got some momentum. I think they're starting to believe. There's like some swag or whatever going on over there since Jackson Dart has been in that starting lineup, and you're seeing it carry over with CTE Cam. You're seeing Wan'Dale Robinson step up, Theo Johnson. It's a bunch of guys, and they're all stepping up, and they believe. They are believing, and I think what's his name? Brian Daboll. He has his guy. Him and Jackson Dart are joined at the hip right now. Daboll's in love with that quarterback. He got his white boy.
Saved his job, man. Saved his job.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think they win. I think the Giants win this game. I'm not as high on Denver. Defense aside, I think the Giants, they just have something going, and I think they win this game.
I'm mad at that.
All right. Cowboys Commanders, our annual matchup of great rivalries in football. The Commanders are playing in Dallas. Commanders come off a very edgy win against the Bears. But with that Cowboys defense,
they lost that, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Did they beat the Bears?
They beat the Bears. Yeah, they beat the Bears.
Oh yeah. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. The Bears
they lost. They lost. Yeah,
Bears
the Bears
beat them. Sorry, Commanders lost that game.
Commanders lost. Yep, by a point.
But with how bad that Cowboys defense is, I expect them to run the football with three of the running backs they got and Jaden Daniels. It's gonna be a heavy running attack. CeeDee Lamb is back for Dallas. The Washington Commanders defense isn't that great, so I think CeeDee Lamb is still gonna go off. This could be what it was last week with the Panthers and the Cowboys. They were just going back and forth. They're in Dallas. I'm gonna say the Commanders. I just think because their defense is just slightly better than the Cowboys. Like I think they can get enough stops.
Yeah,
that they can beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys out there can't stop anybody right now. So I'm just like, I think.
I'm gonna give it to the Commanders. Literally, the only reason is because like every time I look at Jerry Jones, he just got this stink face on that he's like disappointed but can't admit it. Like I just every time we watch Cowboys games, they just show him in a press box, and when they're losing, it's just like
no pass.
I don't even know what he looks like when they're winning because they barely do.
It would be nice if he had somebody to rush the passer.
But I think this might actually be a high scoring game. I do like exactly. That'd be nice, right? I think this might be a high scoring game. I think Cowboys just still got a lot of karma coming their way, man. Like, it's just it just is what it is. I think Jaden Daniels, he's been looking really, really good. He looked good in that Bears game outside of the one. I think he threw a pick, the one mistake, but I just think they just got a better situation going in Washington. I think they can go in Dallas and win that. They might actually run the table against them. But yeah, I got the Commanders in this one.
Honestly, like I think Dak Prescott is surprisingly playing his best ball he's ever played. I don't know how Dallas has unlocked a focused George Pickens. I've never seen him be so consistent. He's like pacing for like 1,500 yards receiving. It's kind of tough, man, because I think Washington's talented, but they don't play with any oomph. Like
Yeah.
they don't.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they play down to their competition so much. And Dallas defense is trash, so I know it's going to be a high scoring game. But I'm taking Dallas. I think Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. I think CD coming back is going to help. And I think whatever they didn't done to George Pickens, they then took him down to Houston and took him up in the club real quick. They got him focused. And I don't know how they did that, but he is laser focused. So I'm going to take Dallas here.
And I was just gonna ask you guys that, like, what is the likelihood of him crashing out this week? Because if the CD's back and getting more targets, like, what's the likelihood of him, because left to his own devices, where he's not the number one guy, he just crashes out? What's the likelihood?
I don't know, man. I think every week he gets into something. Every week he's getting into something. He's gonna find something to do.
Yeah, he gonna do something, but at least now it's not decreasing his production.
He's been too
He's like crashing out and producing.
Like he's due for a crash out. Like he's due.
He is due. I think he's been well behaved the last couple of weeks.
Sunday Night Football, Falcons 49ers. Falcons at San Francisco. I think Brock Purdy will be back. I don't think they said yet for sure. I don't know. I don't really trust that. The Falcons are coming off that win last week, are hot right now, and Bijan Robinson is just get that man the ball 25 times the game. However, I like the Falcons going in, and Fred Warner is also out. So being a big part of that defense, without Fred Warner being the captain there, I think Falcons win that game.
Yeah, I was going to say that. So usually I ride with the Niners, whether Brock Purdy is there or not, for the last few weeks. But yeah, I think the Fred Warner piece is going to hurt them big, not even just from just productivity standpoint on the defensive side, but just as a leadership. You know, he's their defensive leader over there, and him not being out, their defense might be in all kinds of out of sorts. And you know, usually Christian McCaffrey is enough to get it done, but they got Bijan on the other side. plus they got other weapons. So I'm gonna get the Falcons. Like I said, they're propelling themselves off of a very, very good win last week. I think they keep it rolling in San Francisco this week.
Christian McCaffrey needs some votes for MVP because he's about to be the first running back since Marshall Faulk. He's pacing for 1,000 yards rushing and 1,300 yards receiving. And on pace for 130 receptions. That's crazy. But I think he has been the outlet for Mac Jones. And I think he'll continue to be that if Brock Purdy comes back. I think their game plan is get the ball to McCaffrey as much as possible. And honestly, the Falcons should win this game. But coaching matters. And Shanahan has been coaching out of his mind this year.
Mm-hmm.
With all the injuries. He's been putting that team in position to win games that I just don't expect them to win and that they probably shouldn't win. So I'm going to ride that train. I'm going 49ers.
Okay. All right. And then one of our Monday Night Football games, Texans Seahawks. It's a 10 p.m. game. Seahawks going to win that one.
I got the Seahawks on that one. I think Texans still trash. We were just worse.
Texans still trash. But what another good maybe game of the week? Buccaneers at Lions. Buccaneers at Detroit.
Love this matchup.
Yeah,
this is going to be a smash mouth game. There's going to be a lot of hitting. I think Baker Mayfield has shown the last couple of weeks that he's tough. He's playing in Detroit. That mindset going to be in Detroit on a Monday Night Football game.
Mm-hmm.
Baker's going to I think he's going to bring the energy and stuff. Mike Evans is questionable for this game. I think he's been out for the last 2 weeks. So if he plays,
don't matter.
Provides anything down the field. He got Abuka as well. Like this could be a good game. This is gonna be good. Jahmyr Gibbs on the other side. Amon-Ra St. Brown. This is gonna be a game to watch. This could be the NFC Championship game right here. The Lions and the Buccaneers. This could be NFC Championship game. So I'm gonna go Baker. Baker's just on a roll. He's on one right now. He's on one right now. I think he's locked in. It definitely feels like they're not listening to anything outside. Like whatever they're doing, they're keeping everything in house and just focused on what they're doing. Because I don't even think that if he's focused on MVP or whatever that is. He's out there he's one of the least paid quarterbacks, high paid quarterbacks in the NFL. But he's playing like one of the best one right now. So I'm gonna give it to Baker and the Buccaneers.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks. I think it's gonna be a great game, but I'm going Bucks. Just Baker Mayfield. I said at the top of the show, he's probably one of my bells that I picked. The guy's been balling week to week. He's putting up numbers. He's getting all of his guys involved. He's spreading the ball around the field. Their running game, I think they've been without Bucky Irvin, but they've still been successful in the run game. With Rashad White and Sean Tucker here and there. And I just think they just haven't missed a beat. And that's with Mike Evans on the field or Mike Evans off the field. Baker just still finding his guys, and he's just elevating that offense to heights that the sky's the limit for that offense. And Corey mentioned Branch is out for the Lions. I mean, he's a cornerstone in that defense. Like he pretty much is involved in almost every defensive play, it seems like. So he's going to be out. The Lions offensively, I just think that they're not quite where they were, and I mean we've seen that in weeks to weeks. They give us flashes of some of that old Lions team, but them having that new offensive coordinator, you can kind of still see it, see that point peeking in. Like it's just not quite what they were. I think they're still running like the same. It still seems similar, but it doesn't seem like it's being done with the same confidence, I'll say, as last year. And that just kind of gives me pause, at least in this week. That it's not going to matter against a lot of teams because they are still a lot better than a lot of teams. But I think against this Baker Mayfield-led Buccaneers team, they might just have too much firepower for them, barring some weird situation in the game. But I got Baker and the Buccaneers, and that other Monday Night Football game, might as well just go ahead and move out the way. They might as well flex that to 4 o'clock or something. I ain't gonna be watching it.
If was it Buka? If he plays and Godwin plays, it's 100% Bucks. I think the Buka injury is giving me pause just because he's playing out of his mind. But Baker's locked in. Sterling Shepard's playing like he's elite number 2 receiver. Baker's just like in that zone. And there's always every year there's a guy that gets in that zone. Remember last year was Sam Darnold. I don't remember who it was the year before that, but there's these years where certain guys get in the zone and they just don't leave that zone. And I think Baker Mayfield is in that zone right now. Brian Branch being out is going to hurt the Lions. I don't think Jared Goff has played great this year. And I think this could be one of those games where he may get pressured and the ball just goes everywhere except to the receiver. So I'm rolling with Baker and the Bucks, man. 6-1 MVP Baker.
Well, shout out to Levante David too. Getting that pick 6 last week. As slow as it was, getting to the end zone, he got there. As slow as he was, but he's been making plays for a long time now. They were saying like when he's done, and you look at his stats and stuff, he'll like this guy's a Hall of Famer. He hasn't been flashy at all, but he has apparently those career stats when you look at like you can compare him to some of the best middle linebackers in the game. So doing his thing. And then also I was going to say shout out to Branch as well for probably creating the meme of the year with the Juju Schuster photo. That's like the NFL photo of the year already.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
NFL photo of the year, man. But stupid reason to do at the end of the game and get suspended in one of the bigger games that matters to you in the NFC.
That reminded me of the Andre Johnson and Cortland Finnegan.
Oh yeah.
He ripped his helmet off and snuffed him.
Yeah. So, hopefully the Lions, they win that game because he won't be here in the end of the day if they lose. So
not at all.
That's it from us. Everybody enjoy your bye week. Don't have to deal with any Ravens letting you down. Unless they don't make any trades or any movement or whatever, that will be a letdown. If I hear nothing,
that would be egregious.
Nothing.
Oh man, I was going to pick the Ravens this week, but
they can't lose, right? They can't lose.
This might be the best shot we got.
You can't lose this week. Plus, this
we need the whole AFC North to lose. We need the Steelers to lose.
The defense ain't giving up no points this week.
No points, right? No points.
Yeah, we need them Bengals to come through tonight.
Yeah. So,
Right.
all right. Well, that's it from us. We'll catch you guys next week, and we'll see if the Ravens did anything to get better. I'm not gonna hold my breath though. But we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.